Hello besties, welcome back. Today we're going to look at what obese individuals eat on TikTok, analyze those meals and make them better. Let's beast it. The made up persona for our first host is a 27-year-old female who's 5 feet 4 tall and weighs 275 pounds. She's trying to eat healthy and does indulge in alcohol at times. She also works in a hospital, so she's on her feet a lot. In order to maintain her weight, she should be eating 2,500 calories daily. Is she? She starts the day with drinking some water, which is good because that helps rehydrate the body after the night's sleep. Also, I like the bottle she is using. It is pretty in color, but if you are one who struggles with keeping hydrated and drinking water during the day, this is a type of bottle to have because it has markups every 8 ounces and times. And you can also set up alarms to remind yourself to drink your 8 ounces of water each hour. For breakfast, she has yogurt with blueberries, walnuts, maple syrup, and cinnamon. This one is harder because of the angle of the video, but let's try to guesstimate what is actually in there. That pot of yogurt looks really big, besties, but let's say it is a 5.3 ounces yogurt pot. Plain, just because she added maple syrup. Almond, we're gonna say 2 ounces. Blueberries, half a cup. Fragole, these always come in Italian in my mind. Strawberries, half a cup. Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. Maple syrup, let's say 1 tablespoon. After that, she had a Diet Coke. That's probably not a good idea, but I don't demonize people for drinking those diet sodas. Though the regular soda will be a better evil. You see, the illusion in diet sodas is the 0 calorie and 0 almost everything else, but they're sweetened with aspartame, which is about 200 times sweeter than sucrose and more harmful in many cases. This article titled Aspartame, True or False Narrative Review of Safety Analysis of General Use in Products talks about experiments performed with aspartame and the result of those experiments. The article is linked in the description of this video if you'd like to check it out. Coming back to our host, for lunch, she made a salsa salad. Look at all those colors. She is really trying to eat healthy. So in that bowl we have some lettuce, maybe 2 cups. Some black beans, I suppose. Let's say half a cup or half a can. Some cheese. She has different kinds there. Also, she doesn't show how much she used, which is frustrating for this kind of videos that we are making here. But let's guesstimate that to 2 ounces maybe. She did mention red pepper and red onions, and that was avocado in the mortar. So let's say red pepper, not sure whether bell pepper or not, but 1 cup. Half a red onion. An entire mini avocado. 4 cheese. 1 ounce. 4 ears of corn on the cob. There's lime there too, let's say half a lime. Then paprika, chili powder, Himalayan salt. By the way, pink salt is not healthier than regular salt, a bit like aspartame and sugar. But anyways, that made for a big salad by the look of it. I will give her a pass on the spices as they're very low on calories and we're not gonna count that as she is not prepping for any show. For snack, she had carrots and oranges. That's a weird combination, but okay. Then she had some puff puff from her Nigerian coworker. Those are fried dough and therefore carbs for the main part and fat. There are a few ways of making them and it would be almost impossible to know the nutrition of a single one without knowing how many in total were made and the quantity of each ingredient that was used. But let's see if my fitness pal has them. So for snack, we said 1 orange with about 15 baby carrots and puff puff. Let's hope she only had 2. It'd be hard to have only 2 and they can be dense again depending on how they're made. For dinner, she had McDonald's. It looked like 1 medium fries, 1 medium Diet Coke possibly, 6 pieces of McNuggets, some ketchup. I'm not sure how many pies she had, but let's say she did have them all. That's about 2 tablespoons, maybe. She did end up the day with some hard liquor. It is not known how much, but liquor usually has a lot of calories, so I would not be surprised if she ended the day well over 3,000 calories, but without counting the calories, she'd be well over her daily intake for weight maintenance by 60 calories if we got everything right. If this is what she eats daily, then in 5 weeks, she'd be about 2 pounds lighter. Now, you may ask me how, when she clearly eats in a surplus or however small it is. But remember that she works in an hospital, so she is on her feet almost all day. That does count as light exercise. Now, with the liquor information, that will be a different story. Our friend here, like the one from last week, is all over the place with her food, but she is trying. So let's help her and make her meals better. For breakfast, I will replace the regular yogurt with Greek yogurt. It is true that she did not specify what type she had, and in MyFitnessPal, we selected regular. Greek yogurt tend to have more calories than regular yogurt, yes, but it has less sugar, less carb, less fat, and way more protein than regular yogurt. How much depends on each brand, but those are the main differences. And because of more protein, that should keep her feeling full longer. Remove the almonds. They count as fats mainly and good source of fats, but we save them for lunch if at all, or another day. Everything else stays but the maple syrup and Diet Coke. Actually, let's pick some 8 ounces Greek yogurt. Vanilla mixes well with almost anything, so vanilla flavor will be nice. And if plain, then we can add the maple syrup back. Her lunch was good but too much for a single person. So we are going to have most ingredients and more. The lettuce can stay as is, same as the red pepper and onion, but the rest has to be revised. The avocado, half instead of an entire one. The cheese. Honestly, I would slash it, but let's leave it as is. The beans. If it's there for the protein, then I will axe it and have 2 or 3 ounces of grilled chicken in there instead. Sweet corn. Let's make that 1 cup instead of 4. It would be better to weigh everything, but let's go with what we have. For snack, we will save the puff puff for another day. The baby carrots stay. We are actually going to increase the quantity to 20 baby carrots or so. Have that with some hummus. Have you tried that? It's one of my favorite snacks, and sometimes I add tomatoes to it, and of course, a protein drink for the protein. We're going to throw away her entire dinner and make one from scratch. That doesn't mean she cannot have McDonald's ever again. As a matter of fact, if we leave her dinner as is, she still has a lot of room for her liquor, even though even that will be cut to half what she had to start. Anyways, a better dinner will consist of a 6 ounce of grilled chicken with some potatoes. The ketchup can stay. She would still have had potatoes and chicken, but in a more nutritious way. And if this were her daily intake, she would be almost 10 pounds lighter in 5 weeks, provided she does not add the liquor. Our second host is a 29-year-old woman. She's 5'2", weighs 280 pounds, does not exercise, and should be eating 2440 calories according to MyFitnessPal in order to maintain her weight. Is she? For breakfast, she has 2 avocado toast. That's 2 slices of whole grain bread, possibly an entire medium avocado, and what looks like some hot sauce. For lunch, she is having a cup of noodles. Not a good choice for lunch, but that's not a way to shame anyone who eats those. They have their place based on situations. For snack, she had some granola in milk with cherries. Let's see what MyFitnessPal gives us for choices for each ingredient. 1 cup of the granola, we would say. Maybe 1 cup for the milk, hopefully. And 1 cup of cherries. Then she had soy milk tea, whatever that is really. Let's pick the one from Starbucks, 16 ounces. It is actually a different brand that she had, but her fingers are hiding most of the name and logo, so Starbucks it is. For dinner, crispy tofu curry plate. Okay, let's see if MyFitnessPal has that. It should, but let's see. She had that with, let's say, a cup of corn with a cup of rice. Then half an orange watermelon. With everything packed together, she is 475 calories above her recommended calorie intake, and in 5 weeks, were she to eat exactly like this, she could be almost 5 pounds heavier. Yikes. But she wasn't done though. She had some thoughts from Sonic afterwards. So after adding that, we are 7 pounds heavier in 5 weeks if she were to eat like this daily. I'm not going to lie with you, this is disgusting and pure gluttony. There is no way you're going to convince me that eating like this is not privilege. Like, what part of this is oppression? This person is apparently a vegan, and if you ask her, she will tell you that her obesity is genetic and will add that she is vegan to prove to you that the way she eats has nothing to do with how much she weighs. Right. Just because you are vegan doesn't mean you are healthy. Even on a vegan diet, she overeats, so her weight is clearly the result of her poor alimentary choices. And by the way, whatever diets you are on, if you eat more than you need for weight maintenance, you will gain weight. But we're still going to help her and better her meals. For breakfast, well, what she had wasn't bad. We could however have the avocado. She doesn't need an entire one in one sitting. For lunch, that noodle soup can go. Instead, we can have some red pasta, say with some Alfredo sauce and tofu. Nutritious with a lot of protein. Actually, a good combination of carbs and protein. You malicious. For a snack, the milk stays, and we are going to make a protein shake with it. We also keep the cherries, and we can add some banana and a scoop or 2 of plant-based protein powder. The soy milk drink is not necessary, but if she insists, we can leave it on and have it instead. As far as I am concerned, the only times you should drink your calories are when these are nutritious protein shakes. Keyword, nutritious. It is worth emphasizing that word because there are ways to ruin protein shakes too. For dinner, well, she can make her own dinner and it will be more nutritious. Let's suppose she's making her own. So we keep the tofu. The seasoning, we don't count, but it is there. Everything else remains the same except the thoughts. They get asked. She can have them on a different day though. With everything combined, that brings us to 2109 calories. She'd actually be losing some weight and her body would thank her for it, trust me. She would be losing weight without trying. therefore weighing 276.7 pounds. The magic of numbers. Thanks for watching, Beasties. Trend mean.